Welcome to A Cult of Personality. I'm JC, and I'm going to help you guys decide if you have extroverted intuition or introverted intuition. Um, for sensors to, the best analogy I think for sensors with this would be, like, for instance, if you're an more dominant of an introverted sensor and you have extroverted intuition, or if you're an extroverted sensor uh, dominant and you have, or secondary and you have introverted intuition. I think the best analogy would be for if you were to relate it to a computer, if you happen to know about computers or you work on them or know a little bit about, like, what makes them up. The let's see, um, extroverted intuition lets you see all the possibilities and lets you hold all the information, yeah, you have, like, in your head at once. So it's more like RAM. And introverted intuition is more like a stream of events that could happen based off of what's around you at that time. So it's like if you have extroverted intuition, you take all the subjective, like all the details are in your head, and think of what could be done, based off of that, based off of those details or past experiences, or what's happening to you, what could happen. And then introverted intuition, it's more you picturing what events could take place. It's more time based. It's more based in reality and then what reality could turn into, in a way. Whereas extroverted intuition, it's objective. It's still based on reality, but a lot of times it can consider things that are um, less likely to happen because it kind of treats um, every possibility as a definite possibility, whereas introverted intuition will narrow a lot of the possibilities down based off of what's actually going on, as opposed to it being based off of subjective, what you would what you would like to, when it comes to making a decision anyway, what you would like to happen. It's not saying introverted intuitives can't imagine what they would like to happen, but they may even be able to do that farther into the future and better than extroverted intuitives, but it's more likely to be, even though it's subjective, it's more likely to be practical, I think. Whereas extroverted intuition, it's more like, things like EJR&D again, he made like a really good example of this, um, where you kind of equally see it as possible that nothing's going to happen in your room, as if like a unicorn just came out of nowhere and just like showed up, or uh, a someone just happened to be rolling by outside with a catapult and, I don't know, and they could, catapult something through your window. Things like that. Like it thinks of all the possibilities without really, um, uh, I, I, I want to say there's less of a filter on it, but at the same time, it's also good at making decisions for what you should do or what you could do at this time. Whereas introverted intuitives, they may not necessarily take the information to know what to do, but they'll more take the information to know what they what they will do or what will happen later. Um, so yeah, I think those are the best examples I can come up with. Uh, Introverted intuitives, they might have more out of body experiences than extroverted intuitives because extroverted intuitives have it. It's based out of the sensing function that's most aware of their own bodies, so they're less likely to be able to like leave their bodies than in a sense than introverted intuitives could. They have more control over what they decide to take in and not take in and things like that. So um, another thing is there was a study done with EEGs by Dario Nardi that showed that extroverted intuitives they more have connections to all different parts of their brain at, at once, like kind of jumping around, more scattered, whereas introverted intuitives seem to focus on just one point, and the more challenging something is, um, usually the better the introverted intuitives do. They not they'll necessarily be successful, but they'll learn better if you put like something they're not ready for in front of them. They will become better faster. Whereas extroverted intuitives should probably go step by step more, or probably uh, kind of practice and work their way up to something. But yeah, I think that's most of what I can say for that. So I guess yeah, I'll be making more videos to narrow down even more specifically what type you might be, and keep a lookout for those. Like, comment, subscribe. If you subscribe, that part will be easy. And so yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys later.